You walk into a Pennsylvania courtroom on a Tuesday morning expecting business as usual. Same brown benches, same tired fluorescent lights, same seal of the Commonwealth glaring down like it's judging everyone in the room. But today, the person waiting to be judged used to sit on the other side of the bench. This is the sentencing of Judge Sonya McKnight, 57 years old, former magisterial district judge out of Dauphin County, Pennsylvania. And in about an hour, Your Honor is going to become inmate. Now we are still in the courtroom, and Judge McKnight shuffles in wearing jail khakis, not a robe. Hands chained in front of her, not resting on a bench. No nameplate. No elevated seat. Just a folding chair at the defense table and the paper cup of water she barely touches. Across the aisle, a man sits quietly with family. One eye cloudy and damaged, the other fighting back tears. That's Michael McCoy. The Commonwealth says Sonya shot him in the head while he slept. She says she is not a monster. Somewhere in the middle of that is the story we're here to talk about today.
All rise. We are now on the Black Docket.
Hey, my people. We back for another week. Kendall, you ready to do it?
Yeah, man.
You got any church announcements for the people before we get into it?
I don't believe so, but now that I know that you inquire, I'll make sure I have some if they're necessary.
Alrighty, I don't have them. Cool. I don't have them for y'all, so let's do it. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So leave the courtroom for a minute. I want to talk to y'all about who Sonya was before anybody ever called her judge, because titles come later. Life comes first. We don't have her mama name, we don't have the block she grew up on, or what high school she went to. And I'm not about to make it up to sound cinematic. What we do know is Sonya's story is rooted in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Not in some far-off suburbs, not in a gated community, but in a small city where black folks was just trying to keep everything together. Family, work, bills, and most importantly, they sanity, okay? And somewhere in that mix, you've got this young black girl who's going to become a mom earlier than anybody planned and or expected. And y'all already know how loaded that is. It's not just, oh, she had a baby young. It's the stares, the whispers in the church, the folks talking low at the corners. Teachers who decided that they're done expecting anything from her the second that belly started to show. A teenager with a baby on her hip and a whole lot of people silently betting against her. But she's doing what she got to do to try to finish school. Maybe clocking in somewhere because there's diapers to buy, food to put in that little baby's stomach, and so many other things for her to keep up with. And even without knowing every little detail of what could happen around her, she felt that imaginary weight of you messed up. And she was doing everything in her power to prove that she was not a mess up. And as she got older, you see her in a different role. She's not just somebody's mama. She's somebody's school person. Sonya ends up working in the Harrisburg School District at Ben Franklin High School. She was what they called a parent engagement specialist. Now, that title sounds like something you will see on a brochure. But if you ever dealt with one of these roles, you know they real job. This is the person that call your house when your child has been late too many times. The woman sitting across from you in one of those tiny little school chairs saying, let's figure out what's going on. She's the one trying to get parents to pick up the phones, to come into the buildings, to sign the papers, to talk before the situation turns into something bigger than they can handle in that schoolhouse, okay? So imagine Sonya in that role. She's not behind some big desk downtown. She's in a school office, a cafeteria, Somebody mama living room having the same conversations over and over. Your child is missing class. Your child is having trouble in math. Your child got into it with a teacher. And she's hearing all the stories about the lost jobs, about the sick grandparents, about not having a ride, no child care, lights getting cut off. All the things that never make it into official school files, but that 100% affect how the student acts in school. And the kids, they looking at her like, are you here to help me or snitch on me? So she has to walk that line, be the bridge between the school and the parent, the translator between education language and real life chaos. You can almost see how that job fits the life that she's already lived. A woman who had to grow up fast now works with family who kids are forced to grow up fast. She knows what it's like to be judged. She knows what it's like for people to write you off. So when she's talking to a parent who's overwhelmed or a kid that's already kind of halfway out the door mentally, she's not coming in like some outsider. She's coming in like, look, I had to hold it together, and so do you. And that's a different kind of authority. Not, I went to the right schools, but I came through some things and I'm still standing. So you can go through some things and still be standing. Then there's how other people talk about her. When they're describing this part of her life, the mom, the worker, the community woman, they don't just say she had a job. They talk about her sacrifice. They talk about her serving. They talk about her as someone who shows up for her children, for family, for church, for all the people around her. You can tell faith is a big part of her world. The way folks describe her, it's very, she's a woman of God. She believes in service type of talk. You know how it goes. We don't need the name of the church to understand the vibe. Sunday mornings, they praying over them children, scriptures posted on the refrigerator. The kind of woman people call when they need somebody to pray for them or ride to the church house or to an appointment. So now, picture Sonya in all three of her roles at once. Mom, who had the children young and still was on point for them. School worker, who is in homes and hallways trying to keep kids from falling through the cracks. Church/community woman who's known for showing up, helping, and being that familiar face you see all over. That's the ecosystem that she's in. Now, when you live in that space long enough, you start to see how everything connects. You see how kids missing school end up getting the police called on them. You see how unpaid fees and tickets turn into warrants for your arrest. You see how a bad day in front of the wrong person in the wrong office can throw somebody's whole life off. From her side of the desk, she's probably watching families run into the same walls over and over. And somewhere in there, a thought starts to form. The people making these decisions don't always understand us. She's seeing rulings in police and calls that feel disconnected from what she knows about these kids and their parents. And she's not just looking at it as an outsider. She's a Black woman, a mother, someone who has to argue with the system herself. So when a local judicial seat starts to look real shaky, a magisterial district judge with ethic clouds over his head, and folks in the community side-eyeing how he moves. It is not wild that Sonya looks at all this and thinks, why not me? Because this wasn't just some judge somewhere. This was Judge Robert Jenkins III, the man with his name on the door of the courthouse everybody's cousin has been dragged into at least once around this way in Harrisburg. So while everybody else is stressing over paying the court, the same man hitting the gavel about your money is allegedly running his own staff like a built-in cash machine to keep his pockets padded. He's accused of telling them, yeah, you can make money serving these papers, but run me my cut. 10% off the top is what he was telling. Not like, hey, if you can donate to my campaign, that'll be nice. More like, if you want to keep working here in my court, break me off of some of your check. You cannot be doing that, Mr. Robert Jenkins III. So now imagine if you Sonya. You're at that school by day talking to parents who are stressed out because court is already in their business by night. You're seeing letters go home with this man's name on the top. You're hearing people talk about it in the grocery store, like, so they can lock us up for missing payments, but the judge can play extortion games and keep his role? Do you know how nefarious you got to be talked about in the grocery store just willy-nilly?
Very nefarious.
This is the judge everybody's been told to stand up for when he walks in. And now his business is on blast. Investigations, complaints, headlines. His whole situation smelled funny. And right there, in the middle of that, is Sonya. Black woman. Teen mom turned school lady. The same one sitting in the living rooms trying to break down court papers to somebody's grandmama in plain English. So when the seat finally hits the ballots and folks actually get a say in who's to wear the robe next, of course she feels that. Of course she looks at her life, the kids, the parents, the church folks, the neighbors, and then she look at the mess on the bench and say, why him again?
Why not somebody from over here? Why not somebody who actually knows what it feels like to be on the other side of that desk? Why not me? That's not some cute slogan. That's years of watching people get ground up in a system run by folks who don't live where they live. And finally, deciding she's going to run at the chair instead of just complaining about the person in it. This is not a small decision. That's late night kitchen table talk. That's children asking, so you're gonna be what now? That's friends at church saying, oh, we need you in there. That's other people saying, you sure you want that headache? But she goes for it. She doesn't run from some ceremonial seat. She runs for magisterial district judge, the kind of judge people in Harrisburg actually see. The one who handles traffic tickets, landlord-tenant fights, small money civil cases, those early criminal hearings where bail gets set and lives quietly get changed. It's the first door a lot of people walk through when the system has their name on paperwork. And here comes Sonya, with her school district background and her teen mom history and her church woman reputation, saying, I want to sit in that chair. On the campaign trail, you can imagine what that looked like. Knocking doors, talking to folks on porches, showing up at community meetings, fish fries, and school events. People saw her not as some stranger in a suit, but as that lady from the school, or so and so's mama, or the sister from church. There's a familiarity there. She's selling herself, but she's also just doing what she's already been doing, listening, explaining, connecting. And there's a story she can lean on that hits different in a city like Harrisburg. I know what it is to struggle. I know what it is to be counted out. I know what it is to deal with these systems from the bottom. I'm not coming in here to look down on you. I'm coming in here to treat you like a person. You don't need a fancy slogan when that's your resume. Now, from the outside, if you're watching her life on fast forward, it looks like this. Teen mom raising kids while the world side eyes her, working in the schools, in the homes, in the community, moving in church circles and neighborhood spaces where people know her face and her name, then stepping out and saying, I'm running for judge. Whether you will ultimately agree with how she handled that power later or not, you gotta respect the climb. This is a woman who did not start at the top. She did not walk in with a silver spoon and a pedigree. She built up credibility in the spaces regular black folks actually live in. That's the Sonya we're sitting with right now, not Judge McKnight in a robe.
So now we got Sonya looking at that shaky judge seat and thinking, why not me? That's cute as a thought, but a thought don't put your name on the ballot. Running for judge is a whole thing. This isn't like, I'm a play class president. This is, put some respect on my name on official paper. And let's see if the city rocks with it. Now, let's talk about what she's even running for first. In Pennsylvania, a magisterial district judge is not some fancy marble column judge off in the distance. That's the front desk of the system. You get traffic tickets, you might end up there. Your landlord acting weird, you might end up there. Your cousin get locked up on some charges, that's who you got to go see for bail. It's the first person in a robe a lot of people ever stand in front of. This judge decides things like, you going home tonight or you going to sit in that cell for a while? Is this case moving forward or is it getting tossed? You paying this now or you coming back to deal with it later? So when Sonya says, I want that seat, she's not asking for a title with no real power. She is asking to be the one who says yes or no when your whole life is on pause in front of that bench. Now remember, the man already in the seat, Judge Robert Jenkins III, got his name all tangled up in that alleged money mess. He's sitting under a dog cloud, okay? And in the real world, folks were talking. Barbershops, beauty salons, Facebook comments, and for show in them church parking lots. They always doing dirty stuff in that courthouse. He think he's slick. Somebody else need to be up in there. That's the environment Sonya steps into when she decides to run. She's not coming in as some unknown. In her lane, she's already somebody. Parents from the school know her face. Kids know her as the lady who called home. Church folks knew her from service, programs, and events. Her resume isn't clerked for the Third Circuit and interned at the DA's office. Her resume is, I've been in your house, with your kids, at their school, at your cousin baby shower, at your church program, and I've listened to all y'all complain about this very system. That type of impact hits different for people who are voting. So picture this campaign in your mind. Not in some stiff political ad way, but in real life. Sonya's knocking on doors with a stack of palm cards. Sonya's at somebody's cookout talking about, yes ma'am, I'm running for judge. Sonya at the end of a PTA meeting handing out flyers like, hey y'all, real quick before y'all go, my name is Sonya McKnight and I'm on the ballot for magisterial district judge. She really was doing the work.
She was.
She really was doing the work for
concrete.
real.
She's putting feet to concrete.
Yeah. People are not looking at her like she's dropping in from DC. They're looking at her like, oh, you from the school. Girl, you running for judge. And there's a pride in that because whether they say it out loud or not, there's this quiet thing in Black communities where when one of us reaches something big, people feel that in their chest, especially when it's one of us that didn't come from money, didn't come from legacy, or didn't come from some fancy last name. I see that. Like, think the early iterations of American Idol when the damn Ruben Studdard and Fantasia was on there. Listen, Ruben was all our cousin and Fantasia was all our aunties.
Lay my head on my pillow.
At the same time, though, you know not everybody is clapping. There are people who think judges should look a certain way and come from a certain background. Code words they use when they want to be racist without directly calling you a nigga. There are folks who see a Black woman from the schools and automatically assume she's too emotional, too soft, too something. And you know that at least one person is mumbling, who she thinks she is. Motherfucking Sonya, who she thinks she is.
Of course.
Who the fuck? She had that baby young. Who she thinks she is.
She was fast.
Hating from outside the club. For Sonya to run anyway means she's already made up in her mind that their ideas of what a judge look like is not her business. Her business is, can I get enough people to see me in the way that I see myself? Can I get enough people to believe that I can sit in that chair and handle it? So we're going to talk about election mechanics for a minute, right? Regular. In Pennsylvania, these local judge races start at a primary. That's where you're basically pick your fighter from your own party type of situation. Then the one that makes it out of that goes to the general election. And in 2015, when Sonya runs, she's on that Democratic primary ballot against the man who's been holding the seat. You've got the longtime judge with baggage on his side and the school church community lady on the other. If you're in the district and you tired of the same old, this is literally the question on your ballot. Do we keep the old name, the drama, the money laundering, or do we roll the dice on somebody from our own side of town? And when those primary votes got counted, they chose her. She beat them. That right there is a moment. Because a teenager with a baby on her hip is not supposed to turn into a woman who beats a sitting judge for a seat. A parent engagement lady from the school is not supposed to walk into a system built by and for a white man and say, move, my turn. But that's exactly what she does. After the primary, the general election is a formality. She runs unopposed. So by the time November rolls around, everybody basically knows Sonya is about to be Judge McKnight. Now picture election night, not as some CNN setup, but as a black family life. Phones blowing up, texts coming in. Girl, they said you won. Judge McKnight. Let me tell you something. If anybody ever close to me ever get, they gonna be sick of me, boy.
Oh, we know.
That Judge McKnight.
Every day.
Every day. Move out the way. Judge McKnight is in the building. Then you got somebody in her family definitely calling her Your Honor just for shits and giggles. That too would be me. Gotta ask Your Honor if we can do that right now. Your Honor. Kids looking at her like, so you really a judge now? And Sonya, this woman who's been through so much at this point, has to sit with the fact that her whole title just changed. She's not just Sonya from school anymore. She's Judge McKnight. When she walks into that courtroom for the first time in that robe, everybody stands. The clerk says something like, all rise. People who would have never looked at her in the eye out in public now has to address her as Your Honor. The same kind of girl folks once whispered about, you know she had a baby young, now has authority. That robe carries weight. It's not just fabric, it's history, it's patriarchy, it's racism, and it's all class. And she is stepping into all of that as a black woman who did not come through their usual pipeline. So on one side, you've got people filled with hope. Finally, someone who understands. Maybe she'll actually listen when we talk. Maybe the judge won't be talking at us, but to us. And on the other side, you've got people watching her like a hawk. Let's see if she can handle it. Let's see if she stays professional. Let's see if she knows how to be a real judge. Same robe, completely different expectations. Okay, we're going to spin the dice. Oh. Which way you think she going to take it, Kendall? You think she going to let the people down?
You know what? I'm going to put my faith in this black woman.
Yes, Lord. Once she's in there doing her job as expected, she's calling names. She's heard, yes, Your Honor, no, Your Honor, for the first time with her name on a plaque. And this is where her background matters, even if it's just in the way that she sees the room. She knows what it's like to fill out confusing forms. She knows what it's like to be talked down to by someone in power. She knows what it's like to juggle work, kids, court dates, appointments, all of it all at once. So you can imagine her trying to bring a different energy to that bench. And she does that by slowing down to explain things, giving someone a chance to speak in plain English instead of legalese, seeing a young mom stand there and recognize the look in her eyes. Now at work, everything was running how it was supposed to run. But away from that bench, her life is not as neat and orderly. It's loud, it's messy. And a lot of that mess is wrapped up in one man, her husband Enoch. On paper, it's cute. So I know they was on somebody's vision board and social media as couple goals. I know it. I can just,
of course,
I can see it. You know, because back in the day, we used to be a proper country. We had motherfucking WCW. Mm-hmm. We had Throwback Thursday.
MCM.
We had Man Crush Mondays. We used to have fun on the internet, man. Before people start taking this shit too serious, we used to have fun.
You know, money made it serious.
That's true.
It's a shame.
That's true. But like, I know these two couple goals around Valentine's Day. Oh, baby, I know people had Sonya and motherfucking Enoch all up through their Facebook pages. But you got the judge and her husband. They had the Brady Bunch thing going on with their blended family. The kids was grown. They had a nice house in Harrisburg. They're a married couple. But the first time we really see their names side by side in paperwork is not for a celebration. It's for a case. It's October 2018. And this time, Judge McKnight is just a woman calling the police for help. She tells officers she was driving to the store when Enoch tried to pull her out of the car while she was behind the wheel. Now, when I wrote this, I was hot to the sky, okay? So, apparently, I'm supposed to ask Kendall. She said she was driving. He pulled her out of the car and she swerved the car to hit the thing. But I'm like, I don't see that being possible.
Hit what thing?
She hit a boulder in the middle of the street. But if you're driving, how can he pull you out the car? And I was high, and I kept reading it like, I don't see how that's possible. So
I don't
it wasn't
see it either.
okay. So I was high, but I went tripped out my mind.
Nah.
Okay, cool.
Officers don't treat it like just a lover's quarrel. They charge Enoch with simple assault, recklessly endangering another person, and criminal mischief behind that incident. Later on, he pleads guilty and gets time served on the case. But we have now entered another level because now it's on the record. This marriage has reached the point where the law is sitting in the front seat with them. In a throuple. After that crash, Sonya doesn't just let it slide. She does what a lot of women are told to do when stuff at home stops feeling safe. She goes to court and asks for a protection from abuse order, a PFA. This is Pennsylvania's version of an restraining order. At this point, it's not talk or feelings. It's a court order on paper with the judge's signature on it. It says, don't call me, don't show up at my house, don't pop up at my job. The judge signs off on it, and now Enoch is legally not supposed to be in her space like that. But on paper, it doesn't stop there. Court records say that even with that order in place, Enoch supposedly blows her phone up. 23 calls in 1 month. Not a, my bad, I pocket dialed you, but a pattern. And when that happens, she doesn't ignore it. She goes back and reports it as a violation of the PFA that's in place. If you've ever watched somebody or been someone who bounced between I'm done and okay, but maybe we can fix it, then you already know this part. That PFA doesn't stay simple. At first, it's no contact. Don't call, don't come, don't pop up. Then the order gets changed. Now it's peaceful contact, meaning y'all can talk, but it's supposed to stay calm. Then it swings back again to no contact. Then it's adjusted one more time for good measure to say you can communicate, but under certain conditions. So even on paper, you can literally watch this relationship go back and forth. The ink is changing, the terms are changing, and you can tell just from the documents that this thing is hanging on by a thread while the court tries to keep up with whatever is happening between them.
And if I was the judge seeing them with all this back and forward, I would be sick of Sonya and motherfucking Enoch.
I would call him a fool.
Like, I would be sick of them.
I'll call him fools.
And there is no way I'm about to bring this type of bullshit to my job. She is going to her job, Dauphin County, with this bullshit. There's no way I would do that. There's no way I would be putting them folks in my business like that. Like, this is foolish behavior.
Yeah, but you also got to make sure you protect yourself.
Fair.
Niggas trying to throw you out cars while they're moving. How? We don't know, but
fair.
Whatever.
By spring 2019, Enoch was living somewhere else. At this point, he had also started going down to that courthouse, filling out his own petitions, trying to sort out money and property from their marriage. Whoever is filing this paperwork has a nosy person dream job. I would love doing this job. And then I get both sides of the story, your side and his side, because y'all both got to come to the same place. Absolutely 100% yes, sign me up.
Of course.
Sign me up, baby.
Of course you would say that.
Now, why they doing all this back and forward, y'all? Sonya is still on the bench, still handing out other people's drama all day, then going home to her very own. That's the stew everything is simmering in when we get to the morning that changes both their lives. It's May 10th, 2019, around 8:30 in the morning on Lexington Street in Harrisburg. Police get a shots fired call at Sonya's house. When they get there, Enoch has been shot. Now, mind you, they not even supposed to be around each other. They are supposed to be cool, calm, and collected. Sir, why are you at this lady house at 8:30 in the a.m. when you supposed to be at your own dwelling? Why are you there?
You know why he there.
Now, praises to the Most High, because Enoch does survive, but he's badly hurt. He was shot in his hand and his inner thigh around his groin area. Sister shot this man in his private? That's a bit much, sister. That's a bit much.
Sheesh.
What really happened in there that day, we really don't know. But the basic agreed upon parts is this. Enoch came over that morning to help move furniture. Somehow, he wasn't just moving furniture anymore. He's being accused of cheating. And then he shot once. Hit him in the hand, hit him in the groin. The kind of wound that sends you straight to surgery. Ain't no ER and ain't no urgent care. So now you got Enoch on the way to the hospital, bleeding out in pain. And we got Sonya in her house on Lexington Street, having to sit down with detectives and explain why a sitting judge has fired a gun at her estranged husband inside her living room. Here she go, putting more folks in the business and giving the court filer even more details to the story. How do I get this job? Anybody that's listening that can get me one of these jobs in Atlanta, Gwinnett, Decatur, Duluth.
Look in the court system.
We would have stories for days. Y'all hear me? I would be in there doing recon for the Black Docket. Let me flip through this paper and see what they talking about. But from there, the story split. From Enoch's side, he said he was invited over. He was there to help move furniture like he was asked. He'd already carried out one chair, and he was working on the other when it's totally flipped. Now he's being called a cheater. And in the middle of that, she popped Enoch's ass. 1 minute, he's doing a favor, and the next, he's on his way into surgery. And this had him wondering, how did helping move a chair turn into all of this? And from Sonya's side, the story she told was not based on why she shot that man that day. She leaned hard on the history and earlier assaults for the case at the PFA order.
And that's why he should have kept his ass away from her.
That's why he had no business being over there.
Don't help her with nothing.
Nothing. The back and forth, the calls, the time she's already told the court she was scared of him. The way her camp framed it is as simple. This is a woman who did all the right things. They said she told the system when she felt unsafe. She got the paperwork. And then he's back in her house. Things jump off. It gets heated. And when she reaches for that gun, she does it because in her mind, she believes she has to. I ain't know shit about Sonya when I started writing this. In my writing, at this moment, I called this lady on bullshit. This lady on bullshit.
Let me tell you, I called her on bullshit earlier. But I said, I'm going to hold it down.
The local DA doesn't want anything to do with the case because Sonya is very much still a sitting judge in Dauphin County at this time. The same courthouse where her own case is run, and that was going to look so messy. And Enoch would have, I ain't gonna even say probably, Enoch would have sued the pants off of them if they would have charged this case in Dauphin County, and he would have lost. Mm-hmm. I would have sued them on account of y'all is taking up for y'all co-worker.
Yeah, conflict of interest.
Hello? So they kicked it to the Pennsylvania Attorney General so nobody could say the hometown crew was protecting their own judge. The AG's office looked at the whole situation, the past incidents, the PFA, what happened that morning. And in the end, they decided that they were not going to press charges over the shooting. They said they saw this as a case of self-defense, and because of that, they declined to prosecute Sonya for shooting Enoch. She walked away from that shooting without no charges. No trial, no jury, no nothing. Now, if it was me, if I popped one nigga and was able to get away with it, you best believe I would not try this shit no more.
And that is why we are not telling a story about you.
Yeah, fair.
Because it would be nice and boring.
Fair. And it's not the last time her personal life and her job would end up colliding at a crime scene. Fast forward to February 22nd, 2020. It's the middle of the night in Harrisburg, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Her son Kevin gets pulled over at a traffic stop. Inside his car, officers are finding crack, cocaine,
That's crazy,
a scale, razor blades, and a crazy stack of money.
He's gonna get to work.
Man, what? Brother was looking at some serious charges right there. And what do? He called his mama. When she pulled up to the scene, everybody knows who stepped out the car. On the way over, Sonya called the Harrisburg police commissioner on his personal cell and told him that his officers had just pulled over her son in what she believed to be an illegal stop.
I bet.
She's most definitely putting salt in the game because what do you mean your son had crack in his car and a scale, and you talking about some illegal stop. Sonya, please don't piss me off, Miss Lady.
But she's doing what a black mother is supposed to do for her son. You selling your son out the river?
No, I'm not selling my son up the river. But also, I'm finna say, nigga, if you finna be motherfucking Young Jeezy, don't do this shit in Harrisburg.
That's kind of what she's saying right here. But in the legal manner.
Okay.
I'm going to make some calls and, you know,
Fair.
that's what you
Fair.
do. Listen, it's all relative, player.
Fair.
When she arrives, there are already multiple marked units on scene. Lights going, officers in the middle of an arrest. They say she walked straight up to the cluster of officers, asking why her son is in handcuffs, why they're going through his pockets, questioning what they're doing, and the officers are addressing her as judge the whole time. She doesn't tell them, no, I'm just mom right now. Don't call me that. Because she was for sure using her official title on an unofficial business situation. The more she pushes back, the tighter the air gets. She's asking if the commissioner is on duty, and the officers take that as her pulling rank, because that's their boss she's name dropping. They later say she came off demanding, getting more and more worked up, like they were being raided in real time by somebody who had the power to actually get them fired for simply just doing their job. At one point, instead of staying off to the side like she's supposed to, she walks right back over to Kevin's car, squeezes between officers, and gets in the driver's seat herself. Nobody told her she could get in that car. She then proceeds to take some cash, an orange pill bottle, a credit card, and the keys out of the car and take this stuff to her car. Not long after, Kevin is loaded into a transport van and taken to bookings. When asked about her behavior, she told investigators she was there to make sure her son didn't get hurt or hurt anyone else, and that she took his blood pressure medication. But that's not how the officers saw it. They wrote in their report that her presence made the entire scene chaotic, made officers feel under a microscope, and pushed them to rush their work. They even note that, in all that chaos, officers missed a razor blade in her son's pocket when they transported him, which they consider a safety risk created by the distraction.
Now, I don't know about that one. I feel like they missed it because they missed it. Sonya's down there showing her ass, and it's easy for them to put it on her. Hey, you made us miss this.
I'm gonna go with them. First of all, you're arresting someone who's in possession of illegal substances.
Correct.
Illegal substances and an unknown amount of money. And paraphernalia that would show or give probable cause to distribution.
Unless he was finna use it.
I mean, does it say how much of it he had?
I couldn't find what he had.
Yeah, I'm going where he was distributing.
I
I'm gonna
agree.
give him the benefit that he wasn't smoking that.
No,
rock.
I agree he was distributing, and his mama was his motherfucking bottom bitch. I 100% believe that.
Shit, I ain't gonna say all that.
Yeah, okay. She was the queen pin coming to get her shit.
The queen pin?
Now, when she was shooting people for the hell of it, the AG ain't want to look into it. But this time, because she was bothering the police, oh my God, the Attorney General's office opened up a criminal case on her over that night. In December 2020, they filed charges. Said she was tampering with evidence, obstructing the administration of law, and official oppression, all tied to how she showed up at the scene and used her way of being a judge. On the judicial side, the Conduct Board files an ethics complaint and asks that she be suspended without pay while they sort it out. The Court of Judicial Discipline agrees, and in February 2021, she's pulled off the bench on an interim suspension. No paycheck, no cases, all while this case played out. Then came the criminal trial, July 2021, Dauphin County Courthouse. It runs about a day and a half before the jury gets the case. Her defense attorney asks the judge for what's called a judgment of acquittal, basically saying they haven't proven anything, throw this case out. And the judge does exactly that. He tosses all 3 counts, She walks out of this fucking courthouse again, kissing her lawyer on the cheeks, acquitted of everything tied to that traffic stop.
John Gotti bulletproof.
This bitch gots to be a cat. She gots to be a cat. She has to be feline.
Bulletproof this time, baby.
They are letting her run havoc in Harrisburg.
It's all relative.
Man, listen. They playing down at the Dauphin courthouse. And this is why they had to move Enoch case, because he knew they was going to do just this. He knew they was going to play like this. So criminally, this case was over. No conviction, no jury, no verdict. But again, the ethics case is a different lane. The Court of Judicial Discipline keeps going. They look at the dash cam videos, they listen to the officer's testimony, and then they listen to Sonya's own explanations. In a written opinion, they said flat out that she abused the prestige of her office and created the appearance of impropriety. And that even if she meant well as a mom, the way she did it crossed the lines for a judge. By January 31st, 2023, they hit her with a formal sanction, a 200-day suspension without pay, with credit for 190 days she already served back in 2021, plus 10 more days starting February 9th, 2023. They could have kept them pissy-ass 10 days. And a full year of probation where the condition is no more ethical violations of any nature. You think she gonna hold it? Not be in trouble for a whole year?
Nah.
You would think that kind of paperwork, a judge's name under suspended without pay, abuse the prestige of office, probation, would make somebody sit all the way down and fly right. But the board says that's not what happened. Later, the same fucking year in 2023, they came back again with a brand new complaint. This time, it's not about no traffic stop. It's about how she's running her office and using her title. Now, before I even say this, she wanted to get Robert Griffin III off the seat because he was telling the people, if you serve them papers, I need 10%.
Right.
She ran Robert Griffin. That's not that man's name, but that's what we're going to call him. She ran Robert Griffin. RJ3 down to the ground. Because he said, you serving papers in my court, give me 10%. He want to find his fee. Okay.
And I believe that she had that intention to not do the same, but power corrupts.
Fair. So they say she is letting her staff take extra paid days off that weren't properly recorded. They said that was they said they were stealing time. I ain't mad about that one. I ain't mad about that. But I understand. They watching you, so your people got to be in line. Cool. She also told her office manager to act like a civil complaint against her didn't exist. It was over a $2,000 personal loan that she did not pay back. And because she told the worker to act like it don't exist, they never docked it. Like, they never put it in the court filings, right? They say she also picked up the courthouse phone to ask a contact to pull a police report from her own criminal case in a way that made the person feel pressured. So it wasn't like, hey, Kendall, can you pull this record? She was like, hey, pull that motherfucking record and tell me what to say.
She's doing too much.
She's doing too much.
And this is how you make your block hot. And I hate to have to agree with these type of niggas, but this is why there's the guys that don't want to see black women in power, because these are the women that get in power and they're louder than the ones who get in power and do good.
This just seems like a corrupt position. Because if the person before her was corrupt, she's corrupt. Like, and I'm like, that just seems like what they do in this position.
In that specific town.
Yeah. And this person that she called and told to pull that fucking police report is probably the person who called and told them people to watch her. Because you doing a whole lot and you're also making people feel uncomfortable. Like, that lady, you just don't stumble upon this shit that she's doing. Somebody had to tell that this is what was going on.
And you're not supposed to do that. That's illegal. You're not supposed to go and get your own paperwork.
That makes sense. I mean, everybody know that. No matter where you work, if you work at a motherfucking Walmart. You can't even check your own self out. So yeah. They also said she was using her title to help push her little side hustle. So on Facebook, she got a page with her picture. You know, her judge picture with the robe on. Government name right there. Judge Sonya McKnight. And on that same fucking page, sis is out here selling a drink called X. The letter X. It read. Now, this ain't no damn green detox tea, no slim tummy tea. It is a sex drink. It is a natural bedroom. I had to go Google this because I had to know what this was.
I see.
A natural bedroom booster. One of them little red keep them out the streets, bring them home at night drinks. So I guess it was the original honey pack. You drink that and now y'all just fucking like rabbits, I'm gonna assume. And she's not like, oh, I tried this, it's cute. She's calling it a great business opportunity. Talking it up like it works, it's worth it. And telling folks to slide in her inbox if they want to buy it or get in on the money side of it.
I bet.
So on the same page where she is in her role being your honor, you scroll down 2 posts and it's basically also, if you and Bae need some help in the performance department, click this link. The board is looking at this like, ma'am, you cannot be out here advertising sex juice drinks under your judge profile. This is not Exit Red motherfucking MLM courthouse, Miss Lady. You cannot be doing this.
But who gonna tell her no?
Obviously, the board.
All right.
Y'all, she was really tripping. She started missing assigned court dates and being completely unreachable for days at a time when she was supposed to be on the bench.
Here we go.
By November 14th, 2023, the Court of Judicial Discipline steps in again and ordered that she suspended without pay immediately while these new allegations move forward. So we gonna put all that together because that was a lot. We got a judge who started out trying to be the patient one on the bench, the one who slows down for the people. You got a house full of real life chaos, PFAs, phone calls, a husband who ended up shot during what was supposed to be a simple help me move this chair visit. Then you got a middle of the night traffic stop where mom and judge show up in the same body on the same sidewalk at the same time. You've got suspensions, ethics options, and a whole list of you can't do this if you're wearing a robe under her name. And in the middle of all of this that sister had going on, there was Michael McCoy. Michael is not some stranger off the streets. By the time we are meeting him in this story, Sonya and Michael had been in a relationship for about a year. It's not just dates and dinners. They are real deal serious. She done left the house that she shot Enoch in, and she has now moved over into Michael's house on
Susquehanna Township,
on a quiet little street called Saddle Ridge Drive. So when they start having problems, because apparently problems follow Sonya around, it's not just, do we break up? It's, when are you going to get out of my house? And he has every reason to ask her that. Like, what is you here for? I want you gone. And by early 2024, he wanted her to do just that. He was ready for her to go. He's telling his people he's been trying to end things with her. He asked her to move out. Apparently, this was one of those moments where the relationship was over in one person's mind and the other person didn't want to hear, see, feel, believe none of that, right? That's how they was living in that house. We're going to go to February 9th, 2024. Michael goes out that night to Crawdaddy's to have himself a good night on the town. It's a spot in Harrisburg where you can eat and drink and just hang out with your boys to get your mind off the crazy shit that's going on in your house. They're talking. They laughing. They doing what grown folks do on a Friday night. And he's telling his boys he's done. He wants Sonya out of his house. It's not some secret I might leave one day thought. He's saying it out loud. Later that night, he heads back to his home at Saddle Ridge. When he walks in, Sonya is in there, in the house, in her pajamas. He tell her again, it's over. You got to move out. And this time, he's serious as hell because he told her, if you don't get out my house, I'm going to go get your mother and your mother's going to have to move you out my house. This is a 50-some-year-old woman. He says he's going to reach out to her mama and make sure that can happen. Somewhere in the back and forth, he gives her a deadline. He tell her he need her gone by Saturday. Now, I told y'all he went out Friday night.
Listen, get misery up out of here.
I told y'all he went out Friday night and told her she got to be gone by Saturday. He gave her ass a smooth 24 hours. He was real deal sick of her shit.
Yeah, when you're miserable, you got to go.
So, do you know this lady looked this man dead in his face and said, "Oh, you serious?" That was the last clear exchange he remembers having with Sonya before he went to bed. So picture this. Michael goes into his bedroom in his house, gets in his bed, and lay down on his pillow to go to sleep. Sonya is still in the house. Nothing eventful happens. There is no big fight. There's no screaming matches where the neighbor said they heard them through the house, through the windows. None of that. No story about him waving a gun anywhere, charging at her, beating her face in. Just a man who thinks he finally drew a line and a woman still in the house on the other side of that line. Sometime in the early morning hours of February 10th, everything changes. Michael wakes up in agony. He doesn't wake up to a burglar. He doesn't wake up to sirens. He wakes up to pain, blinding, stabbing pain in his head and in his face. He can't see anything. It's total darkness. He doesn't know if he passed out, if he had a stroke, if his brain just quit on him. He don't know what the fuck is going on. The first thing he think is he's having some type of medical emergency, maybe an aneurysm. What he doesn't know is it's a bullet that has gone in on the right side of his face, traveled down and below his eyes, and came out on the left side. He has been shot in his sleep, in his own bed. And the only other person in this damn house is who?
Sonya ass.
Sonya ass. In all that chaos, he remembers her continuously saying to him over and over and over, "Mike, why did you do that to yourself? Mike, why did you shoot yourself?"
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Kendall.
This is why. This is why.
I was reading this shit perplexed. What? Why did you shoot yourself?
Mm-hmm.
He is screaming. He is blind. He is trying to make sense of what just happened. Eventually, they made their way out of the bedroom. There is blood. There is confusion. There is sheer panic. Somebody call 911. The paramedics show up. They see a man with a devastating head wound, alive but in very bad shape. He get rushed out of his own house through his own doorway into an ambulance and off to the hospital. Back at the house, police are trying to figure out one thing. How did a man end up shot in the head while sleeping in his bed with only 2 people in the home? Inside the bedroom, they see the scene. Blood on the bed. Evidence of where the bullet went. No sign that he was up fighting somebody in a hallway or wrestling over a gun. They immediately started to ask Sonya questions. And while they answered her questions, the doctors are trying to keep Michael alive. And the police got their fingers crossed because they want to ask him a few questions. And if he did, they can't ask him nothing. They tested both of their hands for gunshot residue. And Sonya's hands was positive for GSR. They tested the bullet path, and it seems to line up with someone firing while he was laying down. Michael tells them that he did not shoot himself. He went to bed, and when he woke up, he was blind. From that point on, the case was not just a man with a head wound. It's a former judge's boyfriend has been shot in his sleep, and she was the only other person there. At the hospital, the doctors are working hard. They are working on Michael, and Michael on working. They is doing it. The bullet has done serious damage. He's going to survive, but he loses vision in one eye permanently. Legally blind on one side, but his whole face and future changed in one night.
Back in Susquehanna Township, officers are piecing together what they can in these first hours. What they do know, 2 people were inside that house. One of them is now in a hospital bed with a bullet through his head. The other one is a suspended judge who is already on thin ice with the system. They arrest Sonya and charge her with attempted first-degree murder, aggravated assault, possession of an instrument of crime, and recklessly endangering another person. They set that bail sky high, hundreds of thousands of dollars as the case went on, and they added more thousands of dollars because of her egregious crimes.
And we are now on the Black Docket. By the time this case makes it to trial, everybody in central Pennsylvania knows the headline. Former judge, her boyfriend, shot in the head while he slept. But the jury that's about to decide her life, they don't know nothing about her. They're not from Dauphin County. They're not from
Susquehanna.
They don't know her as Judge McKnight from around the way. They bust in a jury from Delaware County, so nobody on that panel has history with her courtroom, or this case. To them, she's not your honor. She's a woman at the defense table, as it should be. And even the people putting this case on are from out of town, because Sonya used to be a judge in Dauphin County. The local DA stepped back, and Cumberland County District Attorney Sean Cormack steps in to try the case. So nobody can say, y'all just protecting y'all own, or y'all out there trying to get her. We don't need no mess with this case, okay? On one side of the court sat Sonya with her lawyer, Corey Lashner, fighting to keep her from spending decades in a cell. No robe, no bench, just 2 tables, 12 jurors, and one big question. With only 2 people in the house, who pulled the trigger? Court comes to order, and the Commonwealth starts laying out the case piece by piece. They call cops, medics, forensic people, 17 witnesses in the first day alone. Let me tell you, for 17 people to hit that stand in one day, they had pointed questions. They was not doing all the rigmarole. Tell me what you know, and let's keep this shit moving.
There wasn't no YSL trial.
Definitely wasn't no YSL trial. What they wanted the jury to see is what the first responders walked into on Saddle Ridge Drive. Middle of the night, quiet neighborhood, house with the lights popping and police tape starting to go up. Inside, they find Michael McCoy in his bed, covered in blood, screaming that he can't see. He tells them he woke up to the worst pain he's ever felt in his life and total darkness. At first, he thinks it's a medical thing. This man really thought his brain popped. He thought it was an aneurysm, a stroke. Something had to be going on with him, because nobody can fathom I went to sleep regular and woke up shot. The paramedics looked at him and told him the truth. You've been shot. So while he playing around with Sonya, she didn't even say nothing.
No. She said something. What she said was, "Why did you do that to yourself? Why did you shoot yourself?"
But no, so she didn't say why. She just said, "Why did you do that to yourself?" So as he's walking around, can't see, he didn't even know he was shot. So the paramedics had to tell him a bullet had gone in one side of his face and traveled behind and under his eye and came out to the other side. Up until that point, he didn't know what happened to him. But his whole life is split open at that moment. He's begging them, if my heart stops, if I stop breathing, please save my life. That's where his head is at. Not on a story, not on a cover-up, just trying to stay alive. They loaded him up and rolled him straight out of his house on that stretcher. And if that man was saying, please keep me alive, I don't want to die, her whole shit went to smithereens. Ain't no way I wanted to die, and now the bullet in my head, and I don't want to die no more. Nah, brother. Back inside, officers started looking around the bedroom. The jurors hear about the blood soaked into the bed, a bullet path that lines up with somebody laying down, not standing up fighting. No overturned furniture, no big, we tore the room up fighting scene. They know 2 things for sure. Michael didn't walk into that room bleeding, and he was hit there. Only 2 people was inside that house when it happened. Michael and Sonya. Police separated Sonya and started asking questions. They also tell the jury about something that happens after they get there. She goes into the bathroom multiple times and was washing her hands, even though they're in the middle of locking down a crime scene. Later, when they was collecting her clothes as evidence at the police station, a detective say she bring the clothes out wet, talking about as she was taking them off, it fell into the toilet stool.
I bet it did.
Why are you taking your clothes off in front of the toilet anyway, stupid? Yeah, Sonya playing right in these folks' face. She really ain't give a damn, and she is just, at this point, she's showing it every time she get that she don't give a motherfucker. That doesn't prove anything by itself, but you can feel what the Commonwealth is doing. They're putting little red flags on the board. Why are you washing your hands right now? Why is potential evidence suddenly in the toilet? You had a better chance of saying it fell in the sink than the toilet.
Silly, silly little girl.
Then they get to the science. The jury hears from people who test for gunshot residue, those tiny, tiny, tiny little particles that can land on skin and clothing when a gun is fired. They testify about what they found. Residue on Michael's hands and clothes, and residue on Sonya's hands and on parts of her clothes. The defense is all over that. They want in the jury's mind that he had the most on him. But the prosecution has their own way of spinning it. Residue transfers. It moves. You touch somebody, you touch a surface, you move around, it spreads. So now the jury is sitting with science that doesn't answer the main question clearly. But what it does say is somebody fired a gun in that room and both of them was close enough to be where it spread. Day 2 is where it really hits, because now it's not cops in lab coats, it's Michael. He walks into that courtroom with a cloudy eye and a face that's been through multiple surgeries. You can look at him and see something terrible has happened to him. He sits down, raises his hand, swears in, and tells them about February 9th. He talks about how he and Sonya had been together for a year, how she was living in his house, how he tried more than once to end it, to get her to move out, and it wasn't sticking. He tells them about going out that night. He goes to crawdaddies, he eats, he drinks, he hangs out with his friends, and he told people that night that he wants Sonya out of his house, that the relationship was done. When he came home later that night, Sonya is still in his house in pajamas. He says they talk in the bedroom. He tells her again that it's over, that she needs to move out, and that he's bringing her mama, if he got to actually make it happen. He's standing by what he said. He remembers giving her a deadline and told her she has to be gone by Saturday. And the part that sticks with him is what she said back. Oh, you serious? That oh, you serious is taking my boy out of the
Listen,
game.
because that tells you everything you need to know.
Oh, you serious?
He should have had her leave that moment.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when she said, oh, you're serious. You know what, Sonya? Let me call your mama for you right now.
Hello?
I'm going to call her right now.
And then he told them that's the last clear moment he got before he went to sleep in his own bed. He lets her stay in the room. He lays down. He goes to sleep. Then he walks them through waking up. He talks about the pain. Like his head is being split open from the inside. There is blood. There is confusion. And he said he cannot see anything. Everything is black. He doesn't know he's been shot. He thinks maybe it's a brain thing. He said he doesn't remember hearing a gunshot in his sleep. He doesn't remember grabbing a weapon. Nothing like that. What is clear about this? I did not shoot myself. He said it to the police and the medics. He said that in the courtroom to 12 strangers who have his and Sonya's life in their hands. He also remembers Sonya saying, Mike, what did you do to yourself? Not once, but over and over. The jury hearing that against the rest of the scene that they've already been shown, man sleep in the bed, bullet through his head, only 2 people in the house. He tells them about the surgeries, actually both of his surgeries, to repair the damage, how he is now blind in his right eye permanently, how doctors have told him he'll need special care for the rest of his life just to keep the vision he has. He's not up there sounding like somebody trying to clean up a suicide attempt. He's sounding like a man who went to bed expecting to wake up and go about his life, and instead he woke up to a nightmare. The defense does what they're supposed to do. They go at his memory. They ask about how many drinks he had at Crawdaddy's, how much he had, what time he came home, what he remembers exactly, and what he doesn't. They want the jury thinking, if he doesn't remember everything clearly, how sure can we be about what happened in that room? But even with the cross-examination, some things don't move. He went to bed with his sight and he woke up without it. He says he did not pull the trigger on himself. And the jury has to hold all of that with the fact that a woman who used to be a judge is now sitting 10 feet away from them just listening. Now, One thing that does not happen in this trial, Sonya does not take the stand. The judge tells the jury that she has the right to remain silent. They can't use that against her. That's a core rule. But real life is messy. People are still people. Some jurors might be thinking, if she didn't do it, if I didn't do it, I'd say so. Others might be thinking, if the state hasn't proven it, I wouldn't give them no extra words. We don't know which way it would land with the jury. All we know is her voice was not a part of the testimony. Her lawyer had to carry it all. Then we get to the closing arguments. The last time each side gets to tell the jury, here's how we see it. The DA keeps it simple, very plain. He says basically, there are two people in that house. One of them woke up shot in the head, says, I did not shoot myself. You don't need a law degree for that. Use your common sense. He reminds them that Michael had been trying to get her to move out. He told her that night that it was over and gave her a deadline. She responded, oh, Eusebius. Yeah. In the weeks around that, she was calling, going through his phone, texting all the women in his life, relatives, co-workers, friends, people on Facebook, asking about their relationship with him. So she had been spinning out of control for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks.
This is not surprising.
The DA paints it like this. A man decided he was done. The woman who's been living in his house, in his life, doesn't want to lose that. Hours later, he's shot while he's sleeping. He called it a nightmare. A sleeping man waking up blind in his own blood, and tell the jury that the only story that fits the evidence is that she shot him on purpose. The defense, on the other hand, is counting on doubt. They tell the jury, yes, she was the only other person in there. That's not enough by itself to lock somebody up for attempted first-degree murder. They got back to the gunshot residue. The highest level showed up on Michael's hands. That matters, they say. They push the idea that residue science isn't perfect. The Commonwealth doesn't have a video. There's no neighbor who saw her pull the trigger. No confession. They argue the Commonwealth is asking the jury to fill in the gaps with emotion. You feel bad for him. You don't like how he looks, so it must have been her. But feelings and proof are not the same thing. The defense's world sounds like this. We don't know exactly what happened in that room. And if we don't know exactly what happened in that room, you cannot say beyond a reasonable doubt that she did this. Two completely different realities. In the DA's version, this is jealousy and control turned into violence. In the defense's version, it's a mess with too many question marks to send someone away for decades. The judge reads the jury the instructions, and it's out of everybody's hands.
The jury takes the case and goes back to deliberate. This is the part of every trial that feels like the whole building stops breathing for a minute. People in that courthouse have known Sonya as Judge McKnight for years. She's worked cases, signed warrants, set bails. Now, she's in a chair at the defense table, and 12 strangers who don't know her history are deciding if she's going to be labeled an attempted murderer. Deliberations in this case, they do not drag. It's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, before the note comes back. We've reached the verdict. Everyone comes back in. The jury files in. Sonya stands. Michael is there. The lawyers are at their tables. The clerk reads it out loud. Guilty of attempted murder. Guilty of aggravated assault. That's it. No long speech. Just that word. Guilty. Twice. The woman who spent 9 years in a robe telling other people whether they'd walk out the front door or go out with deputies is now standing there hearing the same word with her name attached to it. The judge on this case doesn't give her any kind of gentle treatment. He raises her bail to $3 million, high enough that she's not going anywhere. Deputies cuff her right there in the courtroom and walk her out the same way so many defendants have walked out in front of her. And that's where we're going to stop this part of the story. The jury has decided. The system she once served has stamped her with guilty. She's sitting in a cell, waiting for the next date on the calendar, the one where a judge is going to put real numbers on her life. We're not at sentencing yet. We're just at the moment where the robe is gone, the title is gone, and all that's left is a woman convicted of trying to kill a man who says all he did was go to sleep in his own bed. So now that they told her that she was indeed guilty, Sonya is sitting in the cell. Michael is trying to figure out how to live the rest of his life half blind, and everybody is circling one date on the calendar: May 28th, 2025, sentencing day. The courtroom looks different on a sentencing day than it does at trial. There's no jury, no box of 12 watching every move. It's quieter, heavier. You've got Michael McCoy and his people, Sonya in prison gear and sunglasses, her lawyer, Cumberland County DA Sean McCormick, and up on the bench, Senior Judge Howard Neasley, brought in from Lancaster County so this whole thing feels as neutral as possible. There's no question left about what happened legally. The only question now is how much time she's about to wear. The max on paper, she's staring down decades, up to 60 years. The range the court is really weighing, 13 and a half at the bottom, all the way up to 30 years at the top. This is the part where the system basically says, okay, we know what you did. Now we decide what's it worth. Before the judge ever opens his mouth, they let the prosecution and the defense have one last run at it. The DA stands up and goes right back to the scene we've already walked through with y'all. A man asleep in his bed, shot in the head, bullet traveling in a straight line behind his eyes. Doctor saying if this bullet had been off by just a few centimeters, he's dead. What are you, Dr. Seuss? A man asleep in his own bed, shot in his head. What you green eggs and ham ass nigga, man? He reminds the judge, Michael is blind in one eye permanently. He'll need specialist care for the rest of his life. That wasn't a threat. This wasn't a warning shot. This was a gun to the head while somebody was sleeping. And then he hits the motive. This wasn't about a stranger in a parking lot. This was about control. He says in so many words, she tried to take a man's life because he ended a relationship and wanted her out his house. He tells the judge he doesn't buy any of the but she did good things talk as a reason to go light. All those character witnesses, all the she served the community, he basically says none of that erases the fact that you tried to kill a man in his sleep. On the defense side, they're doing what they can with the little room that's left. They call people to speak on her character. 7 witnesses at that hearing talking about how she served, how she helped people, what kind of mom, friend, church member she's been. They lean into the history. Years on the bench, community work, a version of Sonya that a lot of folks knew before Saddle Ridge Drive. They talk about how long she's already been locked up since the verdict and how under the guidelines that time will count toward her minimum. They're not going to get her walked out that day. Everybody in that room knows that. They're trying to shave years where they can. And then there's Sonya. This is the part a lot of people were watching for. What is she going to say? She stands up wearing those sunglasses, which already says something in a room where eye contact is everything. And she started talking. She does not apologize to Michael or his family. She talks instead about the people she's helped, the life she lived before all of this. And she pushes back on the idea that she has 2 sides, the good judge in public and something else in private. She says she stands on truth, still maintaining that she didn't do what this jury says she did. The DA fires right back later. She's not standing on truth. She's standing on a lie. But that back and forth really just confirms one thing for the judge. She is still not taking responsibility for what happened in that bedroom. On the other side of the room, You've got Michael and his people. They are relieved to finally see some justice land, but also made clear that this doesn't make him magically okay now. He's living in a body that doesn't work the way it did before February 2024. He still has a lot of healing to do. You go to bed expecting to get up, go to work, live your regular life. You wake up blind in one eye, carved up from surgery, and every time you look in the mirror, you're staring at somebody else's decision. There's no sentence number big enough to give him his vision back. All the court can really do is answer, what does this cost you? Now it's the judge's turn. Senior Judge Howard Neasley has been sitting up there listening to everyone. He's heard the DA's "you tried to kill a man in his sleep" framing, the defense's "look at all the good she's done," Sonya's "I stand on truth, I helped people, I'm not two-faced," and to the weight of what happened to Michael. When he finally speaks, he does not sound moved by the mitigation. He says Sonya is totally without remorse and that she tried to stage this like a self-inflicted wound, like a suicide, hoping people would believe Michael did this to himself. He calls her actions calculating and compares it to a scorned woman trying to rewrite the scene after the fact. He makes it clear he believes she thought her title, her training, and her understanding of how cases are built would help her get away with it. And when he talks about all those character witnesses asking for mercy, he basically says, in a case where you pull a gun on a sleeping man and almost kill him, none of that outweighs what you did. Then he does the thing judges do at the very end. He puts numbers on it. He sentences former judge Sonya McKnight to 13 and a half to 30 years in state prison. Minimum 13 and a half years. Maximum a 30 piece. That means she's not even in the conversation for parole until she's done every day of that first 13 and a half. And even after that, the state can keep her in up to the full 30 if they decide that's what this should cost. It's right in line with what the prosecution asked for. There is no special discount for the fact that she used to wear a robe. For a woman in her mid to late 50s, that's not some abstract number. That's her 60s, her 70s, maybe her 80s. There's one more piece they tie off that day, her title. In that same hearing, her son reads a letter into the record saying she is resigning her judgeship. The court accepts it. She had been suspended before, pay cut off the bench, but technically still wearing the title on paper. That ends right there. On top of the prison time, she is permanently barred from holding public office in Pennsylvania ever again. So whatever you thought of Judge McKnight, good stories, bad stories, she helped my cousin. She was rough in that courtroom. Officially, legally, that chapter is closed. She walks out of that sentencing not as Your Honor, not as Judge McKnight, but as an inmate headed into a state system she used to send other people into. Her lawyer says he plans to appeal and has a short window to file post-sentence motions. That's paperwork. That's long game. That's something for another day. What is real in that moment is this. Michael McCoy leaves that building still blind in one eye, still carrying what happened to him every time he tries to cross a street, read a sign, or look in a mirror. The Commonwealth walks out saying this is finally some justice after more than a year of waiting. And a woman who once decided other people's futures just had hers decided for her. On the Black Docket, we always come back to this. The system is made of people, judges, cops, defendants, victims, all human, all capable of doing right, doing wrong, or doing the most. In this story, the same system that lifted Sonya up gave her the robe, the gavel, the authority to tell other people guilty. Is the same system that turned around and stamped that word on her. And for Michael, none of that changes one simple, ugly fact. He went to bed in his own house. He woke up in a nightmare he will never fully wake from.
So that's where we are. A teenage mom from Harrisburg who fought her way into the school district, onto the bench, and into a robe. A man who let her live in his house, went to sleep in his own bed, and woke up blind. A jury that listened to 2 days of testimony and came back in under 2 hours with guilty. And a judge, not her, the other one, who put 13 and a half to 30 years on her back and took that title away from her. On paper, she's not Judge McKnight. She's inmate number PE8268 at Cambridge Springs in the Pennsylvania court system. And if you're the kind of person who hears all of this and feels moved to reach out to her, that's your call. If you decide to write, just make sure you follow all the Department of Corrections rules for that facility. Use her full name, the inmate number, and whatever mail guidelines they have posted so your letter actually makes it through and doesn't get tossed in the trash. I'm not telling you to write her. I'm also not telling you not to write her. What we do on the Black Docket is lay the story out. Who she was before the robe, who she tried to be on the bench, the choices she made in her house, in her car, and her son's traffic stop, and in that bedroom on Saddle Ridge, and what it cost Michael, who at the end of the day is the one who has to wake up every morning and live in a body that didn't ask for any of this. Because yes, this is a case about a judge. Yes, it's about power. Yes, it's about how the system treats its own when one of theirs ends up on the wrong side of the table. But it's also about a black man who went to bed expecting to see sunrise and instead opened his eyes to darkness that wouldn't go away. On this show, we don't skip past that. We say his name. We sit with what was done to him. And we remember that messy, complicated, she had a hard life and she helped people at the same time as she tried to kill somebody and the jury believed that she did. This is the tension we live in when it's us on the docket. Today on the missing docket, we're going to keep it right in Pennsylvania, but we're going to take it down to Philadelphia. 12-year-old Bryce Hawthorne, who has been missing since November 14th, 2025. He is 5'4", 110 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. He was last seen on the 14th around 7:15 a.m., leaving his residence on the 2300 block of North Hancock Street headed to school. As always, I will post his picture, and if anybody has any information on where Bryce is, you are asked to call the Philadelphia Police Department at 215-686-3243.
And another thing, I feel like ever since I've been born, there have been so many unprecedented times. From 9/11 to COVID to now this man being a president and now a felon. These times need to start being precedented state, and I'm not playing. I'm putting my foot down. Start precedenting the times. I cannot keep up. I cannot keep living like this. Every single time I turn around, I'm the first to experience something. I don't want to be the first anymore. I want to be like the second or third. Like back in the day, all they had was like the bubonic plague. Okay, get over it. Every single time I go to sleep, I wake up unprecedented times. This needs to end. I literally cannot handle another unprecedented time. Get some precedent around this hoe or else.
All right, y'all. Guess what, y'all? We finally made it. We made it. We got our first hate comment on Spotify, you guys.
Oh, okay.
We got our first hate comment, you guys. Before I tell y'all what he said, I'm going to tell y'all about the actions I took, right? Because I'm so proud of me. I read it, went to the Googs. I went to go look at his platform. I found his TikTok. And y'all, I blocked him. I didn't even say nothing to him, y'all. I blocked him, y'all. He had like 4 pages. I blocked all the pages, y'all.
Look at you.
I ain't leave no comment, y'all.
Look at you.
I was finna let his. I ain't leave no comment, y'all.
Look at you.
So let me read y'all what he said to me. Let me tell y'all what he brought to our platform, cause this our shit. Let me tell y'all what he left on our shit though. We starting off hot. The name of his motherfucking platform is Patriot News Live.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
So even before we got into this, I read who it came from, and I was already on 10 because I thought it was a cracker. I'm just let y'all know this is a black man. I thought he was white, so I was already finna let the motherfucking chopper fly. He goes on to say, I really love your podcast until you said fuck Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry, but no one deserves to die, no matter what your beliefs are. It's sad to see black people like you guys being me and Kendall, that seem to be intelligent are really very ignorant. What if that was your loved one that was assassinated? Plus your negativity on Kevin Samuels and having a beta-minded male on your podcast to agree with you beliefs, it's supposed to be your beliefs, let me believe you guys need to stick to true crime or become woke political podcasts. By the way, you are racist. I'm just saying. We made it, y'all.
I'm gonna let you attend to this first.
When I first read this, I planned to come on this podcast today on this Friday and cuss this fat fuck out. But I don't have nothing to... You see, when I went to go look at his profile, I don't believe punching down on people, right? I'm not even trying to be funny when I say this. The man is like 400 pounds. Every time he like was talking on his video, he's like, that's how he sound, right? It's nothing. And from the comment, you hate yourself. If you finna defend Charlie Kirk, it's nothing that I can say. But hold on, because I got your whole motherfucking name. Hold on. What's your bitch ass name? Joel Davis. If you listening to this, I don't know what to do with self-hating niggas like yourself, but I pray that somebody put something on your heart and fuck you and fuck Charlie Kirk. What you got, Kendall?
So I wasn't angry about this, right? As soon as I heard his statement about calling me a beta male, I already knew off the top, this young man is jealous that he don't get no women and he doesn't have a woman next to him. Off the tizzy, I knew what it was, because no man is walking around comfortably and masculinely saying beta male. Especially not no guy who interacts with women on the daily. That's not what they say. So I already knew what it was. I didn't get angry. Okay, cool. This is jealousy. All right. You say you heard Shorty said I went and did my little Google search. I didn't. I went and looked at the ceiling fan spin. She showed me what he looked like. First of all, he's definitely fat. He's definitely fat. And I don't have nothing against fat people. I don't body shame, whatever. But we got to live in reality. If you fat, you ain't got no business pulling anybody else's card about what they believe in, because you clearly believe in not being healthy. You clearly believe in not trying to see longer living. Believe you said he was also a veteran.
Oh yeah, all his
disabled veteran.
Yeah.
So first off, no facetiousness added to this. Thank you for your service, for protecting my freedom from whoever's trying to take it, which, by the way, no one has told me who's been trying to take my freedom yet. Last time I checked, a lot of these issues was domestic, but I digress. Thank you for your service. But maybe you need to figure out, right, what you need to do to better yourself so you can get yourself in the position you want to be in. The same energy you have for hating, do better. Maybe get out that funky ass basement and go talk to some people. And then you won't have to be talking about somebody being a beta male, because you be too busy getting your fat ass belly rubbed by a beautiful black woman. Because I'm going to give you the benefit that even though you lost, you still date black women. There is still a black woman, because they just that beautiful. There's still a black woman out there who will see him and believe in him because he's a black man and see the potential, even if his funky ass don't see it.
He look like
Because
he
he
smell
too
like
busy
salt.
hating on greatness.
Mm-hmm.
I forgive you, young man, because you don't know any better. He don't know any better. He should have just listened to the show and enjoyed what he heard. And you want to talk about Charlie Kirk? The Arizona Cardinals haven't won a fucking game since they held his funeral at the stadium. So maybe they shouldn't have been representing Charlie Kirk. Because their record sucks now.
And while you coming over here trying to be all in our business, you got a podcast with your motherfucking 2 listeners. That's probably you and your mama. Ho.
And hey, listen. Hey, Ma, shout out to you, but maybe you should have a conversation with your son and what's going on with his mind. Because this nigga lost.
This is why y'all gotta have good people around y'all, because fuck you and your mama.
I'm not going to say fuck him and his mama.
Fuck him and his mama. You brought hate to my platform. I don't even know you, Joel. What's your motherfucking name?
I'm not going to say that. And yes, he brought the hate, but I'm not going to battle it back with hate. You got it.
See, Jesus know who to put in your life. But nah, for real. Nigga shit.
No. I really talk like that because I'll really snuff niggas. So I'm going to extend the politeness. You don't know any better, sir. That's why you moved the way you did. If you knew better, you would do better, but you didn't.
I do have some positivity to say. Joel Davis, the official Patriot News Live with 2 listeners, you and your mama. I really am going to pray that you stop hating yourself for whatever happened to you and stop giving all of your attention and your time and your thought capacity to a group of people that if they saw you, they will call you a fat black ass nigger, hard ER, and have no quorums about it. So I'm going to pray for you. I hope you find peace. I hope you heal whatever is wrong with you, but it's still fuck you over here. That's all I got to say. You got something else on this?
Godspeed to you, and I wish you the best, sir.
Okay. Yesterday, Chadwick Boseman got his star on the Hollywood Hall of Fame.
Yes, he did.
And all of Wakanda was there.
And they brought his shoes.
They did bring his shoes.
Mm-hmm.
His wife was there. Michael B. Jordan was there. I don't know her real name, but Zuri from Wakanda was there. Ryan was there. They was toe up. I saw these pictures this morning. I was toe up like I was there.
Mm-hmm.
Chad Boseman ain't got no business being dead.
He don't. He doesn't.
T'Challa is still supposed to be here, man.
T'Challa is still here.
T'Challa was supposed to be motherfucking Smoke or Stack. He was supposed to be one of them, man.
Was he? Or are you saying that?
I just think how it was written, I think he was supposed to be one of them.
I don't think so.
Ryan said it was never supposed to be Michael B. Jordan. He was never supposed to play both of them, both of the characters. He ain't got no business being dead, man.
He don't.
Did you hear about Burna Boy?
No.
So allegedly, apparently, supposedly, this might have been like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Burna Boy had a concert in Colorado. A lady is sitting front row at the concert. She's dozing off, like she's falling asleep for whatever reason. Do you know this man stopped the concert and like put her on blast and told the people to get her out his fucking concert?
That doesn't surprise me.
I don't know shit about no Burna Boy, but I can assure you I never listened to another song because what do you mean? So then the lady come online and she was like, somebody bought her the tickets because she had been having like a really hard time. I think like her kid or somebody passed away, and she was like she had been working nonstop, and she went to work that day. She came from work to that concert for him to embarrass her like that. He's a bitch ass. He fucked up for that. Then he didn't even apologize. Like once she said her piece, he got on there like making a joke, laughing, ha 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 ha. You should have took a nap, ha 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 ha. It's not funny.
I'm going to say something, and I have the right to say it based on the proximity I have to it. That is the typical African man behavior. And that shit is it's disgusting.
I don't like that.
It's disgusting.
I don't like that. What?
And it's really a shame to see. I ain't gonna front. It don't matter where you from. If you got a skin complexion that resembles mine and you act like an ass, it's embarrassing.
Yep. I don't like that.
A lot of times, Yo, African men, they act like asses and they be embarrassing.
Yeah.
You had no business doing that to that lady. Now, if you would have stopped the show and be like, hey, lady, am I boring you? You know, made a joke. And then maybe she would have said, no, you know, I'm tired. I just lost my son or I just lost a person. Oh, man, that's fucked up. Matter of fact, yo, come on the stage.
But
Let's show, what's his name? Let's show some love to that person. Then maybe we would have been saying, you know what? Let me throw on a Burna Boy song. Let me listen to the album. Let me go. But no.
also, I'm not sure how. I ain't never had no concert, no show or nothing. But if her ass was in that seat, that means you got paid for it. So if she wanted to be in that bitch, sleep.
Yeah, that's an ego thing.
Yeah.
And another thing about African men, yo, their egos is enough for everybody in the room.
I don't like that. Burna Boy ain't got to worry about me with his ugly face ass. Mojo Jojo look himself.
Yeah, yeah.
That's him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He ain't got to worry about me no more.
Yeah,
The next song, not the next song. The next story we got is coming out of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Williamsburg.
Okay.
Apparently, it's this girl named P. Lu Chong going around to all the 5-star restaurants in Williamsburg, eating these people's fucking food and walking out without paying.
Can you say the name one more time?
P. Lu Chong?
All right. That person's not black, by the way. Continue with your story.
I'm talking about she's sitting in there decked out full product from her head to her feet, eating their food and walking out. So now they calling her the Williamsburg Dine and Dash. I think that's what they calling her. At one restaurant, they say she ordered, first of all, she was in there for 5 hours. She ordered a pan-seared salmon, bucatini carbonara, a bruschetta salad, and she just like made content. She didn't eat any of it, and then she didn't pay and tried to walk out. They arrested her ass, and she like until people started saying, "Yo, she's doing this." But they said she lives somewhere in Brooklyn, and she be like, the people are saying they think she's in psychosis. She would like play the tenant laws on like a repeat, disturbing her whole floor, banging, yelling at like the front desk people, like out her fucking mind. They said the police be at her building every single day. LAPD said it's 365 days in a year from when I read
NYPD.
this. NYPD. They've been to her house 364 times. Every day they have to go there.
Mm.
She need to be in a psych ward.
Mm.
And
I bet you that the officers that go and report to the scene, it don't be the asshole officers. It be the good ones that report to those scenes where she's acting crazy, and now they have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Not the ones who deserve this type of energy.
But I think now that she's in the paper, I think they finna start sending them asshole ones over there.
Shit, I
for
bet you they
a full
won't.
year?
I bet you they won't. Because she's not black. I bet you they won't.
Oh, well, yeah. Shout out to North Carolina.
Come on and raise up.
They definitely, thank you for saying come on and raise up. That's gonna be in addition to this story. They motherfucking was running ICE ass to the woods in North Carolina. Was not playing with ICE. Then apparently, you know, they trying to be cool and drop ICE videos. Oh, we coming. They use motherfucking Petey Pablo's song. He said, I'm finna sue the fuck out. I'm finna sue the fuck out y'all.
As he should.
As he should. And then today, I seen this article that every high school in Charlotte, all of their students walked out of class. 30,000 students walked out of school chanting fuck ICE today. Shout out to the kids, man. Shout out to the youth.
One thing I've always been a proponent of is the youth, specifically the youth of this generation, because they have all the power that's necessary to make change.
Yep.
They just don't have a leader yet. They don't have someone who can give them the guidance and leadership, but they got the power.
Yep.
And they have the energy for that.
Yep.
And that's why they really been bombarding them with bullshit.
Yep.
The pussy rap
Yep.
and the YN and the drill, because
Yep.
they know we have to get them and this energy under control.
Yep.
But It ain't working, man.
Nope.
Because now they going into that polo look, the quarter sweater look. It's over. Now you're not going to know the difference. And you ain't going to lock everybody up.
You not going to know the difference. And I really don't think there is no difference.
Nah, because you was able to tell the difference from the ones who dressed in quarter zip sweaters versus Nike Tech. Now, if we're all in quarter zip and we're all dressed well, who's the thug?
But also, I think that when I say you don't know the difference, I think this generation, they all ingest the same stuff. So I think even the quarter zip ones will go get a motherfucking Uzi Mac 10 and lay you down.
No. I'm never questioning their gangster. See? I would never question such a thing. I'm simply telling you the appearance. The aesthetics.
Yeah.
Just change the aesthetics.
That's fair. I can.
I'm never. They will always have a shiesty in their back pocket. I'm never questioning that.
Fair. Do you remember Monet Davis? She was the little girl who was playing softball one of those years with the real light eyes. She was playing with the boys and she was beating their ass.
No.
Well, today they're starting women's like major league, and she got signed today. Her name Monet Davis. She went number 10.
What sport she plays?
Softball.
Okay.
So they're starting a women's pro baseball team, and she'll be on the Los Angeles team.
Black woman?
Yeah, she black.
All right, shout out to her.
Shout out to Monet. All right, for all my peoples that be in the TikTok streets, we got another story that I had to loop Kendall into this week.
That's 2 weeks in a row, right?
That's 2 weeks in a row.
Yo, y'all working on TikTok.
How many of y'all has watched the Danish Deception series? I'm going to say this. I watched like maybe about the first 7 parts before I couldn't take it no more.
Now, how many parts are there?
27.
Okay, so you watched 7 out of 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because at first I thought it was going to be like a Risa Tisa situation. Like I watched all 50 parts of Risa Tisa. Let me tell y'all.
Rightfully so.
I watched all 50 parts of Risa Tisa, and then Kendall and all our friends and our family came over and we did a dinner and a recap. But I think the difference in Risa Tisa and this girl is Risa Tisa said, I saw the signs. I chose not to see the signs. This is how I'm being better.
God bless any black woman who takes accountability. I just want you to know that.
This bitch over here still smiling from ear to ear about all the shit that he did. I'm going to sum it up for y'all how it went. She met the man. Man slid in her DM. She fell in love with the man. The man said, let me fly you to Monaco on a business trip. She get there. They there for 2 days. She's crying in a restaurant in front of his managers about how she loved him so much. I think he roofied her. She cracked her fucking head. Had to go to the hospital. She go back home to Dallas. Trip. Hey, his life started falling apart. Hey, baby, I need $6K. Here goes $6K. Hey, the Copenhagen IRS is about to seize me. I need $15K. She gave this nigga $15K. And it was a whole bunch of other shit. And solely for no other reason other than this man was white that she did this.
White tea, a white tea, a white tea. If you're black, nothing for you. But if you're white, there's something for you.
White tea.
Yeah, if you watch the Nollywood videos, them African dramas, you know about that.
Y'all, she let this white
Desperate babes on the prowl in search of a white man.
She let this man run her up through there. Kendall, and I didn't even know until today that he left her.
Yo, shout out to him.
He left her.
Let me tell you one thing these crackers do, man. They'll go and get those black women that want to be so close to them, use them up dry, and then throw them right back over the fence.
Well, I think we have to, and I really hate
and then take her wealth and go be with a cracker.
I hate diaspora wars deep down and inside I do. Yeah, but for the sake of this story, she is one of those Africans that want to amass to white culture. Mm-hmm. Like, she don't have no black friends. She posted up, and you know once you pop off,
Not even a white passing friend.
a black passing friend.
No, not even a white passing black woman, like
No,
black friend.
no,
Sheesh.
cracker, blonde hair, blue eye, cracker friends.
Aryan? Ooh.
That's all she got. So you can tell because even when she was telling the story, it wasn't even about like, oh, he has all these things. She started with, oh my God, he's so hot. He's blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, date who you gonna date. If my sister said, Tam, I'm dating a white man, if he was blonde hair, blue eyed, I might gotta call the people. I might gotta call the parents. I might gotta get Big Sam and Ray Lynn involved if Scott ever say he's blonde hair, blue eyed. Now, if he look like Shagun, dark hair, dark that's I don't know. Something about that blonde hair, blue eyes, it be next level shit to me. That's a next level.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how she did it. Then come to find out, he took $200,000 from her people and said he lost it gambling. I don't think that man has a gambling problem. I believe he saw them Africans wanting to be in close proximity so bad, and he took them for everything that they had.
Took them through there.
Child. Oh, and then, let me tell y'all the places that they went, because I had to take a screen, had to write this down. Monaco, Barcelona, Brazil, Paris, Cabo. They went to Denmark twice, Nigeria, because she took him to the village to go bury her grandmama. Budapest, Colombia, Key West, Miami, Spain, and then they went to Portugal twice. The only one of these trips that he paid for is when he took her to Monaco. And I truthfully believe when they went to Monaco, he had ran this scam on somebody else and he had enough money to bring her over there.
I mean, well, I can believe that. And it's the initiation fee.
Yes.
That's how you got to look at it.
Yes.
I'm finna get her.
Yes.
And I have to invest something.
Yes.
So I'll bring you to Monaco.
Yes.
And I know you're materialistic because most African women are. So you can easily finesse them with buying the materialistic shit. I fly you out. I just met you, right? So off the tizzy, I just met you. Hey, baby, I want you to come to my work event. Where's it at? In Monaco. Off the tizzy, she getting wizzy. She getting wet. Off the top. You there for the money.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get you there. And then I'm going to run my game on you and get you.
And I wouldn't even necessarily say she was there for the money, because I think right now, if this man, her knowing that he don't have, this is the part I forgot. She ended up, because I told you she married him, she ended up getting into his bank account. This motherfucker had 43 cents to his name, Kendall. 43 American cents. I don't know how many cents that is in motherfucking Copenhagen money. 43 cents. And all of this Mulaki, she quit her job. She says she had a $150,000 job. I can believe that. She lives in Dallas. She quit her job because he said he was going to take care of them. Like, he ran the ultimate boom shakalaka on her.
You know why I don't feel bad for women like her?
I don't feel bad for her.
No. Most definitely don't feel bad for her. You're a loser. She would let a white man run her up and down like this, but she wouldn't look at a black man who has ambition to get somewhere and is putting the steps towards it, but at the moment is not there. She wouldn't give him a chance.
And she currently online cussing out all the black folks, saying that we ignorant and we are uneducated and we don't know nothing.
Yeah, whatever.
Because she chose that white man.
Whatever.
But this just goes to show, like, again.
You clearly didn't know nothing. You clearly didn't know anything either. You fell in love off of one trip.
Hello.
That's all it took? One trip?
Hello. And
you couldn't even go three first? Like, three strikes, then we out. And
you were so pressed. Like, can you imagine how this man got totality? I think the total amount he got from these people is like $260,000. He got that shit tax-free from y'all, and he still looked at your desperation and said, I don't want this. Bitch, you're a dub. You're a dub. You're a loser.
Let me tell you.
You're L7.
I'm going to tell you this, man, because I saw her. I'm not going to say she's ugly. She's not
ugly.
She definitely is attractive. A black man would have treated you way better.
She
Way
could have went and
better.
found a Nigerian man that
Let me
would
tell you
have
something.
treated her better.
Way better. But like you really fucked yourself over trying to hop the fence thinking white was closer to success and it wasn't. They ran you up through there, took all your shit.
Well,
and now you there paying back debt that you didn't even benefit from.
Yep. And then the Nigerian people that's in her social circle is now saying that her whole family like that. Her sisters, her mama, that's just the type of folks that they are. They want to be close to white. So
Unfortunately, that's a lot of Africans.
that's so sad.
That's a lot of them. I mean, don't also remember
And
they sold
that's true.
they sold
They
black
definitely
people
sold us.
to the whites.
Yeah.
If you think in your mind that white people went to Africa and circumnavigated the jungles and the lands, you're a fool. They didn't know. They stood right there at the water and somebody brought them people. Who? Hey, listen, you use your brain and you figure it out. But I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
They didn't look white.
They definitely didn't look white. It's a very unfortunate situation. But if y'all don't know that about me, I love a good scam. I love a good scam.
That's the Atlanta in you.
Definitely the Atlanta in me. I love a good scam. So for what it's worth, motherfucking brother got off.
He got off. Yeah.
He got off. This is a foolproof. If I could fuck over people, like, this is so off topic. I think I hit that blunt too hard because now I'm high. I always said if I didn't have like
morale and integrity.
If I ain't have morale and integrity, I would have used all my years and years and years of motherfucking watching Catfish
and went up.
And would have been doing this shit, man. What? I would have been living a man, listen. I would have been doing it. Especially with AI. Man, please. I would buy the most advanced shit, change my face, have y'all thinking that y'all motherfucking with Ben Affleck. I would be doing it to these motherfuckers. But I can't. My spirit won't let me.
Yeah.
My morality won't let me do it, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
I be having thoughts. Yeah. I be having thoughts, man. I would have been a Harlem Bishop Don Juan. Boy, listen.
But you know what I'm saying? It's the goodness in me. I can't take nobody hard-earned money.
Yeah.
I can't do
I can't abuse the people.
And I also can't lie. Like, you just be having to tell outlandish lies. Like, I can't, yeah, my brother in the hospital, my mama, I can't do that. I can't do that. But if they give me about 6 months, that's another thing. They give me 6 months to live right after I go take the motherfucking Mona Lisa off the wall at the Louvre. I'm finna be getting to it.
You want to be an art thief so bad.
The Mona Lisa's coming home with me. Next story, and it's 107 Choose One news. First Take was at my school yesterday morning. Hell, Wildcats! Shout out to the Bethune-Cookman University. Thank you kindly. They was in the gym lit. You know, I don't even like Cameron Newton, but Cameron Newton did the chant correctly. RC was smiling from ear to ear. Stephen A wasn't being no motherfucking honky. They got some white girl on there. I don't know her. She looked out of place. But everybody else, it was good. It was good. The school president was there. The students was there. They had the colors on. I'm proud of my school, man. I'm proud of y'all. And they deserve that. They deserve that. Shout out to Cookman.
Glad you feel good about your school.
I do. Did you hear about, apparently in the in the late 1900s, people was taking trips to Sarajevo and doing human sniper attacks?
I did hear about that.
Yeah, they was calling it a human safari.
And let me tell you something. That's not far-fetched because, put your tinfoil hats on, guys. Allegedly, they were saying they were doing the same thing during Katrina.
That don't surprise me. They was paying $90,000 to do it, and it's footage of it, which further leads me to believe that it's true. I just my mind can't compute.
The Serafina where?
Maybe I'm saying it wrong.
Oh, Italy. Sarajevo. In the 1990s.
It was somebody that was at war.
Serb. Maybe Serbia.
But yeah, like that's the callousness of it. It's so uncouth, dog. Like it's so uncouth.
And at the bottom of this, right, all the time, it's never black people.
Never.
It's not a piece of melanin in this story, guys.
Nope.
But for some strange reason, my brain, right, it just don't understand. Black people are always accused of something.
Yep.
But when you look at the news, right, when you look at the current events, when you look at the atrocities that's taking place in the world, it's never someone with melanin doing it.
Nope.
It's always someone that lacks it. It's always someone that originated from the cave that does this type of behavior.
Caucus.
Imperialistic and colonial nature. That's just what they are.
Yep. That is true.
It's been raining
Y'all,
for a week.
I just opened my Instagram and this thing say iconic actress Cicely Tyson has passed away at 96. Do y'all know I just instantly got sad all over again? Like this lady ain't been dead. Oh man. I'm trying to think if I have anything else for y'all. Oh,
P.
my boy Zoran.
Oh,
a couple things.
Afghanistan?
Yeah, a couple things. I gotta put this on wax in case people say it didn't happen. They voted to release the Epstein files this week.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near unanimous. Everybody voted for it except for one man.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he was a Repub, but Repubs and the Dems, everybody voted to release the files.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go on wax and say I don't think they're gonna be outraged about the girls. I think they're gonna be outraged about the homosexuality that they was over there doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Donald Trump is finna attempt to do a 360 and try to welcome the
180,
and support the dolls and the girls and the days and the gays because they finna blow his spot.
Well, I think it's cool that we have a president that's part of the community. I don't think that it was cool that he did and like he was bashing them, but he should have just came out and supported the community. Cause now we don't have footage, but there's footage.
Y'all, I ain't been on the internet all day. Oh, I gotta tell y'all what happened at work today. Can I tell them what happened at work today? Is that unprecedented about them people taking them people hours?
I mean,
No. Apparently, from the time we started recording this, Marjorie Taylor Greene quit her job. She said she's stepping away from Congress. She's gonna resign.
okay.
You scared. They got her scared.
For the people for the individuals who may not know, who is Marjorie Taylor Greene?
She is a congresswoman from Georgia that has been, first of all, she should have never become a congresswoman. What I'm about to say is not a color thing because she's so fucking ghetto. She's such a ghetto.
Is this the black woman that was like yelling a lot or talking, being feisty?
This is a cracker.
Oh.
This is a ghetto gutter snap cracker.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is the one who, when they kept trying to say Hunter Biden was a crackhead, who was bringing his dick pics to the Senate floor for years. Kendall.
They really perverted on this. The Senate is really perverted.
So on C-SPAN, they don't stop nothing on C-SPAN. So for damn near a year straight,
they're showing meat.
His meat was there because they kept trying to say, like, okay, he did crack. Okay, so what?
I want it to be known, right, and I want it to be put on record that the community always knew these people were gay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm adjacent to the community, so we have conversations. It is very much known that the politicians and the individuals who spend a lot of their energy bashing homosexuality is indeed homosexual.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
it's they're hating or they're mad that they don't have the courage to come out and live the life that they see the people who came out live. I don't know what it is, but yeah, the jig is up.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Also in 2026, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we should all collectively the same night buy tickets to go see the Michael Jackson movie and all come back and talk about it because it looks like it's going to be so good.
Jump on. He.
Come on, Lee.
Homie still mad that they didn't pick him.
I had to block him. I had to block. Let me tell you, my tolerance. I can tolerate a lot. Somebody was in his live
That's not
because
true, nigga.
I get what I don't have a lot of tolerance.
Hell no.
Damn.
Hell no, man.
Damn, I thought I had a lot of tolerance,
Shit,
y'all.
I bet you did. But go ahead, you had to block her.
Y'all, I don't have no tolerance. Oh my God, I'm turning into my mama every day.
Hey, she got tolerance. Don't be talking about my girl like that.
Oh, I'm turning into my mama. I can't tolerate nothing. But okay, I don't understand like the battles on TikTok. I don't know what those mean, right? But he was battling somebody, and the person said, "You know Michael Jackson was black, right?" Do you know this motherfucker said, "No, because Catherine is of Asian descent and Joe is from Italy."
Okay.
And I don't know if this is like him just trying to troll on the internet. I don't know what it was. But in that moment, I was in there, like, I was so mad. Because why would you say that? They were darker skinned. What the fuck is that? She was a darker skinned Asian. Oh, you stupid for real. You stupid in real life.
Wouldn't a darker skinned Asian just be a black with Asian descent?
That Fabio, I think somebody should really get his brain checked out because something is for sure wrong with him.
I don't know. To get your brain checked out, doesn't that take funds to back it? Like, you got to have resources.
Oh, he got something like 7 million followers on TikTok. He got money to get his brain funded.
I don't know if I want to waste tax money
I don't know.
whatever it takes to investigate his brain. I think that tax money can go to
Fair.
the roads.
Fair.
So my suspension is not messed
Fair.
up. My tires don't blow out.
Fair. Back in my day, impersonators only came out every so often. They never tried to take the motherfucking
Halloween
identity. Or you worked in New York.
Oh yeah, little background jobs. Yeah.
You go do your little shikadoo at Times Square.
And you knew your lane. Like, you knew your place.
That shit is scary. That's scary. Apparently Usher is suing Brown Michael Cox for $4.9 million. Apparently they were supposed to be opening. Well, Usher said it's for a $700,000 loan for a Buckhead restaurant that never opened. Now, Kendall, you know I'm not good at math. How can I give you $700K and now you want $4.9 million?
Interest, lawyer fees, court fees. Yeah. I'm pain and suffering. Yeah. And Usher's my guy. You know, we got the same birthday, so that's my guy. I'm sure that's what it comes with. Like, I'm going to charge... Now that I have to take this to court and we have to litigate, I'm going to charge you for everything. Everything that I have to... The gas I have to pay to get to court, nigga, is coming out your pocket. The fuck you think this is?
I guess
you should just pay me my $700.
I can't see this big old number because $700K seems so far removed from $4.9 million.
Not when you start.
And maybe it's the K and the M that's throwing me off. Like,
not when you start adding things to it.
Sheesh.
This is Usher. You know he went and got the best lawyer he can get.
That's true.
Retainer fee.
That's true.
Who knows how much the retainer fee is? You should have just paid the $700.
Fair.
Like, you should have just paid it. Oh well, kid. And he may not even get the full 4.9. They may drop it to 3 point something, or whatever.
And I forgot to say this. 3 days ago, they dropped a wooden top 50 watch list for women's college basketball. My whole top 5 in that thing.
South Carolina, LSU.
No, just the starting 5 for South Carolina. They're all in it.
Oh, okay.
Joyce, Raven, Tania, Chloe,
Big
and
four?
Anouk. Big 5. The whole starting 5 on the list.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Mm.
And here we go. I'm talking about him. You know, popped him up.
Who, Michael Jackson?
No, this damn Fabio fool.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Jackson Michael.
Okay, I think that's all I got, babes. Got anything?
Nah, I don't have anything.
All right, bye. See y'all next week.
All right, one.
Justice doesn't clock out, and neither do we. So if this episode got you fired up, that's the point. Now, don't just sit with it. Talk about it. Argue about it. Obsess over it. Hit me up on Instagram at the Black Docket, Facebook at the Black Docket Crime Chronicles, or drop me a line at the Black Docket CC at gmail.com. Got a lead? Got a case? A whisper you think I should drag out into the daylight? Slide in my way. And remember, whether you're binge listening, side eyeing your own jury duty, or lurking in the comments, this docket belongs to you too. Until next week, stay curious, stay bold, and always remember, the truth doesn't whisper, it kicks the damn door in. This is the Black Docket, and we're signing out.
All rise. We are now